Hello, my name is Samuel Warwick. I have autism. The entertainment industry has been a huge part of my childhood. So by being inspired to see other entertainment podcasters interviewing other people from television shows, I decided to do one myself. To know about some funny behind the scenes, bloopers, and some stuff that we probably didn't know about while they were making the certain type of show. This is Entertainment Treasure Talk with Samuel Warwick. Let's go to the podcast now.
And we are recording now. All right. Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Entertainment Treasure Talk with Samuel Warwick. I am your host, as always, Samuel Warwick, and I am so happy that you're here. If this is your first episode, welcome to this episode. If you're back again for another episode, well, welcome back, of course, like I've said earlier. So first of all, I do have an announcement. Well, I should say this is episode 25, so we reached 25 episodes of the podcast. That's amazing. That's amazing that we reached 25, and that means we have 5 more to 30, and 25 until we reached 50. So that's a big thing. And then also, so we were supposed to record this yesterday. I want to say I'm sorry for the delay. But we were supposed to record
fault.
this.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's
fine.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. You know, retired.
I was at a party, gosh dang it.
Okay, this is okay. Now we're being funny for the beginning. We're now starting off funny for the beginning, I guess. Beginning of my podcast, we're being funny.
We have to.
Come on, like seriously, we have to be funny for goodness
But
sake.
yeah, there's an announcement. Okay, but anyway, I'm here with at least 4 co-hosts with me today. I have, of course, Wyatt McCullough.
Hello.
Alex, of course.
Merry Christmas.
It's not Christmas time. It's not Christmas time. It's not Christmas time.
It makes sense. Christmas.
Oh yeah, Christmas in July. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, hey. And then,
dude.
And then, of course, I have Martin Krebs. If Martin's there, is Martin there?
Martin.
He should be. He just said,
Yeah.
A man of few words.
Yeah.
Wait, there's 2. Oh, great. There's 2 of them during the podcast. Oh boy.
Martin said hi.
There he is. Martin, you
I'm
there?
so sorry, guys. It's because my meat wasn't responding.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's good, man.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that happens. Okay, but yeah. Martin.
That's all right.
And then, of course, last but not least, there's a voice you just heard, Jordan.
안녕하세요.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello, Jordan. How are you?
Hello.
How's everybody doing? How are my co-hosts doing, if I may ask?
Good.
We're doing good.
This is
Wonderful.
crazy.
Wonderful.
Doing good.
I
know.
thought last episode was crazy.
I know.
Wonderful.
We're beginning of the podcast, and we're all starting crazy. That's hey, we got to do something fun for the podcast. We got to do something fun. We got to do something fun for the podcast, though.
Yeah. Who do we have today?
So yep. Wyatt, thank you for the question, for already asking who do we have, because we need to get through this. So today our guest has been in probably a lot of, she started off in multiple Florida productions, such as stuff like Big Bag, and then and then Kids for Character, and of course Allegra's Window. And then later going to California to review stuff for other movies, like Movie Surfers, and then probably doing appearances in other shows. So anyway, our guest today, our 25th guest, is none other than probably the one and the only, probably one of the most famous people now. Well, not most famous, but probably well known now. Well known now, but we have Tessa Ludwick. If that's your name.
Hello, Tessa.
All right, so there's.
Thank you for having me.
That's Tessa. Yeah, hey, no problem. You are welcome. Yeah, I know you're. I know you're very busy and it's got stuff, but hey, that's life. You know.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. You guys are an infectious group. You got quite the energy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Not
Alex got
thank
Alex
you.
in
We
this,
just
yeah.
I don't know. Also, I just want to let you know Chris helped me get you on. A big shout out to Chris from the Nostalgia Channel for helping me get you on. Big shout out
Oh
to
yeah,
her.
she's great. Yeah, I chatted with her before.
Yeah, you chatted with her. I saw
Very,
that
very
interview.
cool page that she started.
Yeah, I know. I know. I saw that. I saw.
Everyone saw the interview.
But yeah, we saw that interview, and just we just had to be like, okay, let's get this. Let's
do this.
But yeah, anyway, I like to ask people their origin story. So if I may ask you, what made you want to start acting? And I think we already got some of it before by Chris's side of things, but you can tell you can tell your story.
How'd you get into acting? That's a better version.
Well, I'm told from my parents, this is what they say, that I was a little girl and watching, back in the day they used to air things like modeling shows that would happen like in the mall, and there's just different things on TV than there is now. So I was sitting in front of the TV, I guess, and watch these little modeling shows and told my parents, when I was little, hey, I want to do that. And
oh dear. Oh my.
Exact same thing that I was watching on TV, like those little modeling shows, and one thing kind of led to another. I ended up getting an agent. I think what happened is that one of the modeling shows.
I'm gonna have to restop you. I don't know, I was disconnected for some reason. Could you tell a little bit of that?
That's okay. Yeah.
Could you tell a little bit of that again?
Yeah, sure. So I used to watch modeling shows in front of the TV, and I guess I told my parents I wanted to do that, and they took me seriously. So I went from saying I want to do that to being in the little modeling shows at the malls. I think what happened is somebody saw me, probably had a conversation with my parents. Oh, you gotta be really cute in front of the camera, that type of thing, and the rest is history. So I think the very first commercial I did was a JCPenney's commercial, and I was like 2 years old.
Oh
wow!
That's young acting there, and that was all done in Florida. That was all done in Florida too. That's
exactly. Yep. So when
incredible.
well, actually, when I was adopted, I actually started out in California.
Cool.
So I was adopted when I was 5.5 months old. I started in Oceanside, so all of my wee young like modeling stuff was all actually based out of either LA or San Diego. Is where I was doing that. And then I moved to Florida when I was like 5.
Nice.
So when I moved to I moved to Florida. That's where I got involved with what you were talking about, Allegra's Window, Big Bag. So I filmed all that stuff out of Orlando.
Yes, they did. Yes. And just I've already heard some of your experiences by Chris's side, but and fun fact, I was adopted too. So
wow. Very cool.
I have white parents, so
yes, me as well.
But that's
There you go. Related.
But if I may ask, how did you? I mean, of course, you probably already started off with your Florida story. But was Allegra's Window your first TV show that you did? Was that Allegra's
what was
Window?
the first?
Let me think. I think Allegra's Window was the very first thing that I did. I'm trying to think if there was anything before that. I think all before that, it was all like commercials and little mall shows. So I think Allegra's Window was the very first thing that I did that I was actually like consistent, on a show and working for a major television network. Super, super fun show. I mean, as a kid, those puppets were very I thought they were real, and I'm sure you heard me say that in Chris's podcast, but
yes, I did.
I did. My mom used to tell me that I would sit there and I would talk to Allegra like she was a real person, and then the cameras would go off and I wouldn't understand why she'd stop moving. So so when you're a little kid, those things you're like, oh my gosh, so you don't quite understand what's going on. But I loved it. Was such an amazing cast once I figured out what was going on and who was controlling the puppets. Like working with everybody, the cast was amazing. I know you said this is the other show that I worked on, Big Bag. You said you just interviewed Ricky, right?
Yes, we
No, it
did,
was a-
Ricky Boyd.
yeah.
And by the way, I do know that he also, I interviewed him because he also did another show in Florida after you, when you went back to California, called Animal Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, Animal Jam,
Oh, wow, she knows it. There you go.
And you actually know at least two of the people that were on the show, Marcus and Spencer Locke, and then Marcus Augustin.
Yep.
Yeah, they were on the show, and that's why I interviewed Ricky, because I was massive into Animal Jam. So,
Yeah, we're trying to get
That's
the.
funny.
Yeah. And I interviewed them before they did on another podcast.
yeah, he met
Wow.
Ricky.
Cool.
He talked to Ricky too, and so did Martin. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Oh,
just
that's awesome.
yeah, and so yeah. How was it like on Big Bad? Because Big Bad's probably one of my favorite things filmed in Florida.
Yeah,
Now,
Joey
up there.
Mazzarino's amazing.
Oh, that is such a fun show. So the cast of that show too, like incredible cast. Every day, that's the fun thing about working on shows like that. You never feel like you're actually working. So I would go to work and I was like, oh, I get to play pretend today, or today I'm doing this, and there's not really comprehension that you're filming this to watch at home. Our kids are going to be watching this. It just was another fun day of doing whatever with Kelly and with Bag, and that cast especially, I stayed really good friends with a lot of that cast for a very long time. And in fact, so the guy who played, his name's Cullen in real life, but he played like the mailman.
Yes.
So I went on and worked with him, and like I think we did a commercial together. It was like years later. I'm going, oh my gosh, so we ended up crossing paths again, like much later in life. And I kept in with contact with him for a little bit, and then like the male lady Claire, like I ended up keeping in contact with her. Yeah, for a little bit as well. So stuck with me for quite some time. So a very, very, very memorable show for me.
I bet. I mean, you have people on there like you, and then you have Joey Mazzarino, later went on to Sesame, who's freaking amazing.
Yep.
I mean, that was a
trying to get him on
Sesame-based show. Yeah, that was a Sesame-based show.
Yeah.
I mean, you had like people from Sesame. Yeah, like people from like Disney, I think. So,
Yeah, and I gotta mention this because Ben's not here. But after you left, they actually had Elmo on the show in an episode, and Kevin Clash performed him. So that's awesome.
Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I like you guys. You guys interview a good variety of people. It sounds like.
Yes, we have. We've interviewed. Yeah,
I'm teaching them everything I know.
Yeah, we've interviewed. We've interviewed quite a bit of people on the podcast. Yeah. I remember I started out it was just me the first 3 episodes. It was just me, and then I started asking co-hosts, and some of them were hit or miss. So
okay.
I came from another podcast.
Yeah.
Which I'm no longer.
Yeah, we'll tell you the name of the podcast later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it after the recording.
Yeah, we'll do it after. But yeah. So here's actually something people did not talk to you about yet, and that's Kids for Character. How was that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe you pulled that one way out of the vault, huh? So, when I filmed Kids for Character, we were never told that was going to be used in schools or anything like that for, like educational program purposes.
Wow.
We filmed that, and then I went back to my own school, and next thing I know, that video is being shown, and I'm going, like what?
Wow.
And it's like my classmates are going, "Oh, is this why you were not here for a while?" And I'm like, maybe. I didn't know. Nobody told us. I didn't know that's what it was going to be used for. And then there's me all of a sudden popping behind the pillar, and I'm like,
you were like, oh no. You were like, oh no.
It was like one of those moments where I was like,
you were like, oh no.
So yeah.
You were like,
that was a super cool video to film, though.
That was probably some of my favorite
the fact that there were so many people involved in that production. I mean, you guys saw the massive production on it and all the different people that they had involved. So Yeah, and then they, pulled in the big guns like Tom Selleck, and you're going, what is Tom Selleck doing
Sharon
here?
Lewis.
Like,
Yeah,
That's
that's incredible.
Yeah, Sharon Lewis.
so yeah, that was really cool. That one was fun though too, because it was more than just like acting. We had to learn like all those little songs that we did throughout the video, and like choreography.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Jack Mountford, who was in that with me, I still talk to this day.
Oh my God! There you go.
Oh my God.
Yep. And then Marcus was in that as well. So
Yes,
yeah.
I know Marcus. Yeah.
Yep.
Are you in contact with Marcus at all, or no? Because Marcus kind of
I
disappeared.
haven't talked to Marcus in a while, but you know who I do talk to is Brittany from that one too.
Dude, you gotta
Yeah,
ask
help
them to
us
come on
informate
this
people.
podcast, please.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would love to. After we do it, I'll hit them up and tell them that they would love to get you on there.
Yeah, please
I
get
would love
Pat and
Bronco.
Patrick too.
Anybody involved
Okay.
with the character we talk to.
I'll see if I can get in touch with them for you guys.
Yeah, please.
Minus the guy that did Binya Binya in the video, because I'm pretty sure it's the same one. The guy that died. Never mind, Philip D.
Yeah, Philip D. Garcia. Remember?
Wow.
There you go. There he is.
I can probably get on here for you if you guys want. Maybe some of my I might be able to get some of my co-hosts from like surfers on here for you, because I talk to a lot of them.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Yes, dude, that would be awesome.
Alex didn't even know about
Maybe
it.
you guys. I'll see if I can arrange it. Maybe we could do like a little surfer reunion podcast for you guys.
that's what you do.
So
Oh my God,
let's see if I can arrange that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody's done it. Do a movie surfer reunion.
Yes.
We host it.
It's funny because that's what I said too. I was like, "There's not been a surfer reunion yet, so maybe that needs to happen."
Oh my God, yes, dude. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's so that's our next question we were gonna ask. How was it like to be a part of Movie Surfer?
Okay. That has been to date the most enriching experience of my life. So the experiences that I got to do while working on that show, I mean, the people that I got to meet, those things would not have happened to me otherwise. Those were experiences that I could only get working for that show. So I feel incredibly blessed to have had that opportunity to work for that show for as long as I did. I worked for it for 10 years, and I mean, like I said, the places that I went to, it's like I will never forget some of the stuff I did. I mean, some of my most memorables are like going to the Dominican Republic, and I got to go to the Pirates, set.
Yeah.
I hung out with Orlando Bloom and Johnny Depp, Keira Knightley. You get to see the set out there. I'm up on top of a glacier in British Columbia, hanging out with Paul Walker.
Oh, I saw that one.
And then and then you have like big moments like that too, where it's like someone like Paul who's not with us, and I'm going, wow, I feel very blessed to have been able to interview someone like him. One of my all-time favorite interviews is I got to interview Julie Andrews. I mean, who gets to sit down with Julie Andrews?
Oh yeah,
so
I saw
it's
that
just
one too. For Princess Diaries.
Yeah, for Princess Diaries, exactly.
Yes.
So things like that, there's things that happened to me and things that I was able to do that you just can't. I can't match up to anything that'll ever happen to me in my life ever again. So they're once in a lifetime experiences, and I'm very thankful for them.
Wow, that's
awesome.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And also, I was about to say, I actually do have another favorite. One of my favorites was when you interviewed when you got to do stuff for Home on the Range. That was actually pretty neat.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, we did all of our farming stuff for Home on the Range.
Yes.
They had me washing little piggies and milking cows.
Yes.
You also did martial arts.
Yep.
You also did martial arts for G-Force.
I did, yeah. So that was a really cool one, and who they had me work with, she's like one of the top martial artists in the world.
Whoa.
So she's
Cool.
yeah. So I mean,
saw
she
that.
was. I got to watch her do like a little like routine in front of me. I mean, and she was insane. So and then like another thing, I got to actually my very first surfer experience. I think I must have been 13 years old, and it blew my mind. So I grew up with like Phil Collins, and
Yes.
they called me and told me my very first assignment. They said, "We're sending you to Florida to interview Phil Collins," and I was like, "Ha ha ha, very funny." And they're like, "No, no, really, we're sending you to Florida to interview Phil Collins," and I'm like, "What?" So I happened to be learning drums at that time. Like I just happened to be said, "Oh, I want to pick up drums." So coincidentally, you go to send me to interview like one of the greatest drummers of all time, and then we both happen to be left-handed. And so it comes up in conversation that like I'm trying to teach myself drums, and he says, "Here, hop on my drum set." What? Like,
wow.
So I got to play drums on Phil Collins' drum set, and then left with like a pair of signed Phil Collins drumsticks at the end of that. I mean, stuff like that. You know, those are hanging up on the wall in my mom's house, and it's like that's one of my most cherished things. And I'm like, yeah. So.
He's definitely
so
awesome,
yeah,
considering the way he does it for all the movies like
super
Tarzan
cool.
and Other
Yeah.
Wait, I think Martin has a question. Martin has a question.
Yep.
So, what was it like doing the movie Surfers for Chicken Little when you guys were like throwing dog balls? Oh my god, I love that one. That one's funny.
Chicken Little.
Yeah, he's talking about the
which one did you say?
Chicken Little, when you were throwing the dodgeballs.
The dodgeballs. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there was some serious competition that day going on. So yeah, that was pretty intense. I think at one point we got like the producers involved and everything, and we all just started going after them. So but yeah, that was a super fun movie. I mean, there's things like that. It was all like friendly competition, but that's what I love is like shoots like that. We all got along so well too that it wasn't, it was always friendly competition. It was super fun to film with those guys. And it was all in good spirits.
One of my favorites is when you actually were said to run. Were you scared or something? I remember that line too. I didn't say the line, but you said, "What is it? Run? Are you scared or something?" I forgot the exact line, but I know you roasted him, and that's like.
Yep.
Oh my god!
I had to ask this. You mentioned movie Surfers. Were you there for when B&L performed? The band
Bare Naked Ladies. Yeah, that was in our studio. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I've seen that clip.
Yeah. It's such a cool group of guys. I really like them. And again, I mean another group that I grew up listening to. So it's so cool to have them in our studio. They're so down to earth. It's like I love bands like that because they don't fit that typical like musician, profile. So they're really cool guys to talk to.
I bet. It looks awesome. Let's talk to them.
That's pretty. That's incredible.
Yeah. I wish I could get them on for you guys. Like, I would love to talk to them too. So
we'd have you back if we could find them.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
we could find them. I mean, hey, there's always a chance. Who knows? This podcast is actually getting better. So hey,
people are helping us reach out to people. Somebody out there knows very like that. Ladies, help us, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. There you go.
So I actually wanted to move back to Big Bag. What was one of your favorite songs on Big Bag, if I may ask?
My favorite song actually that still sticks in my head to this day sometimes is not even from the actual I guess not from the scenes that we filmed on Big Bag, but do you guys remember Williams Wish Wellingtons?
Well, yeah. Well,
No.
Honestly, there's not a lot of episodes of Big Bag out there. So
Okay, so on Big Bag, there used to be like the little shorts that they would show, like in the middle, like the little cartoon shorts, like they had the chicken one, or they had Williams boots, which is like big boots, and like it was like the Williams Wish Wellingtons, like that. I used to love that little cartoon and that little guy. He was my favorite cartoon ever.
Wow,
so
that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I was about to say
that is probably, and like I said, it still sticks in my head to this day, so that should tell you something.
God. I was about to say one of my favorites was the Imagine song when you guys had to
Oh, that's a good song.
Yeah, you had to pretend like the pages were missing from the book.
Yep.
Yep, the pages were missing from the book, and you guys had to imagine what would happen. And you were like this girl. You were like with this Jamie girl. And then the pages were like, yeah, and I liked your reaction. You said the pages were missing, and then they were like, missing. Oh no.
Yeah. Everything had to be like over the top, and it's like if I thought I was being like super over the top, I'd still hear like a little more enthusiasm, Tessa. Okay, like so yeah. When you're working for Cartoon Network and Disney and Nick, they really like that enthusiasm.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
PBS didn't care about that. PBS and Discovery, they didn't care about that. They just wanted you to be kids on those shows.
Yeah.
But Disney and all them, they did.
I think everybody at one point or another, if you watched like Disney or Nickelodeon or like these shows growing up, at one point you probably went like, why are those kids so excited? Like
yeah, but we're finding out now since we're doing these podcasts, well, we're the surfers now, and so
we're figuring out their mysteries. We're solving these mysteries.
We're the surfers now.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a retired surfer.
Yes, we're the we're the mystery surfers. We're surfing.
Yeah, we're the mystery of pop culture surfers. Oh my goodness!
Come on,
and I do remember the Explore With Us one, which is when you guys had to end with the telescope, like look on the ceiling, look at the door, look whatever, and then look on the floor. Yeah.
Yep.
Remember that one too. So I was watching.
I think one of the songs that let's see, what was the other one that I used to like? The little exercise song, the reach for the sky. The key to when Claire, she played the male woman, she'd come on and she'd do the exercise song too.
So I've seen those. And
they would have that one. So yeah, it's funny because I mean, like filming that stuff for as long as I did, some of these songs they're like permanently ingrained in my brain. So
yeah, of course.
What have I been missing?
Yeah.
What have we been missing?
I mean, not a lot of it's out there. If you look up Big Bag, not a lot of Big Bag is out there. And I feel, and here's the thing.
It's so hard to find that stuff.
I feel so bad for Ricky Boyd, and I pay so much respect for him in so many ways because most of his work is not out there. I mean, his Sesame work and then stuff like that. It's just rare, but his up to the top work is just not there, and I feel real sorry for him. And I'm actually going to take about
that is very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
And I'm going to take about what Jimmy said. He said, and actually about 2 years ago when we interviewed Ricky, he said this. He says as much as he likes Big Bag, he said that it was very weird that a Muppet-based show would be on Cartoon Network. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Yeah. I would agree with that. I mean, I think it was the only one, not even in its time, but I mean, moving forward too, I can't really think of any other Muppet-based shows that they had. Yeah. So, yeah, he's correct with that.
Yeah, and I agree with him about that. I mean, and that was early on in the Cartoon Network. That was like 96 when you did it, maybe 95 when you were shooting.
Yeah, 96.
Was it 95
exactly,
when you were
shooting?
It was
8, 9.
Yeah.
Yep, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I did. Yep, 7, 8, or 9.
Yeah, so that was maybe 95 when you were shooting it. I don't know how long productions go.
Well, nailed it. That's when I was 7, was 95. Yep.
So
wow.
It was 95 when you did.
You won an award. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, I like to go in depth about
you nailed
these
it.
things.
You
I
nailed
like to go in depth about these things. And also, I think that 1996 was probably one of the most big times for pop culture around that time because I remember you had other shows like, oh my God, I can't even, like the Webulous World of Dr. Seuss, what that was going on. You also had a few more. I think you had Blue's Clues, of course, which is at Orlando.
Oh yeah.
And then also, I remember the movie. I think they were probably Orlando was probably promoting the movie Harriet the Spy at around that time.
Oh my gosh, Harriet the Spy! Wow. You know, the one show that I wanted to be on as a kid, and I was always so jealous. I'm like, how do I get on that show? Was Eureka's Castle?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Like, what a classic, right? I love that show, and I was like, I want to be on that show, Mom. Like, how do I get on that show? So I used to think that was just the coolest show ever, though.
That's impossible. It might have been impossible.
That show's amazing. I have so much. I have so much more respect for that show because I know I met Sarah Bloodlock who did Eureka on the other podcast, and I met Noel McNeil who was Magellan. It's freaking amazing.
Oh wow! Oh, how cool! Yeah, that show, like, I think it changed a lot of kids' like childhoods. Honestly, I remember the first time I watched that show, and I was just like, "Oh, what is this?" Like,
it's on Paramount Plus.
So cool.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to go back and relive it.
Hey, Jordan, I noticed that you have a question for her, Jordan, because I know that because she actually worked with somebody from another one of your shows that you also liked. Yeah, she worked. Okay, I'll say. So you know Corey from Gullah Gullah Island, Jordan?
Oh,
yeah, I know him.
Yeah, she worked with him. She worked with him on Kids for Character.
Oh, you did?
Corey.
The Corey dude from
God.
Gullah Gullah Island, who said was one of your favorites. And I know I'm just probably gonna make you mad, but I kind of am decent to Gullah Gullah Island. It's not that I don't hate the show, but Burning Passion. It's just it was just kind of weird to me. I don't know. It was just kind of weird and just especially the first season. Just
That's okay, man.
Corey Hayes.
I mean, there was something intriguing and terrifying at the same time about a giant yellow frog jumping around everywhere.
It was
so,
a little scary,
I mean, I understand your point because
and some of
that's right, Pollywog. Yep.
And some of the like the kids and some of the episodes were just like when they got frustrated, like Vanessa especially. I was like,
it really gets frustrated.
What's this?
Yeah. Also, Corey Hayes is who he's talking about, by the way. Corey from Gullah Gullah Island.
Oh, yeah. Corey Hayes. Okay, yep.
Yeah,
I do remember Corey Hayes. Oh, man, I haven't talked to him since childhood. Wow.
Yeah, we're just going back and forth here.
Question over there. I think he does.
Was it, I think Jaren's sister, Tristan, was on Gullah Gullah Island.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tristan Mays, right?
Yeah. Tristan Mays was in Gullah Gullah Island because that's how. So when Jaren and I did Surfers together, we didn't realize, but I mean, we probably were next to each other as kids too, because I filmed at the same set as Gullah Gullah Island, like we were right next to it. So I'm probably was filming at the same time as Tristan too. So it's like I told Jaren, I'm like, dude, we probably saw each other as kids and didn't even realize it. Wow. So and then we ended up working on movie servers together later on. But yeah, his sister did Gullah Gullah Island. I remember
that's incredible.
I bet. I'd love to talk to his sisters. I grew up with Gullah Island, and it's so iconic.
I'll let me see. I'll reach out to Jaren and see if that's possible. Right, I know she's very busy these days with her MacGyver. You know.
Yeah.
She's a pretty big star in her own right now.
I have another podcast, and on the previous one I was on, I interviewed Shayna, and they haven't met each other. The original Shayna.
Okay.
She replaced Shayna Min Freeman.
Got it. Okay, very cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate Gullah Gullah Island. I just, actually, you because you mentioned that it was one of your favorite shows to Chris when you interviewed her. I'm going to be honest. One of my favorite shows is actually Thomas the Tank Engine. That's my favorite show of all time.
Thomas the Tank Engine's a good one, though. Yep. Yeah. That's a classic.
I usually like I like mainly seasons 1 through 11, which was the whole model series of Thomas.
Okay.
And some of 12. I'll be honest. Once they started doing the CGI stuff, we pretty much knew Thomas was not going to be the same anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. I was what was that show? The Brave Little Toaster Oven. Yeah. That was like another one of my favorites.
Brave Little Toaster
for Disney.
That's a
Brave Little Toaster.
Too.
That's right. Yeah, I was like, yep, that was like one of my favorites. So yeah, I like Thomas though. Thomas is a good one.
That's one of my favorite shows of all time. And so
we've interviewed people from it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wait, I think Alex left. I think he had a question.
Yeah. Hold on. I tried to tell you this. I know what happened. His Wi-Fi went out.
Oh, his Wi-Fi. Oh man.
At least you gotta talk.
Anyway. You know, those things happen. Mine went out just a little bit ago too at the beginning. So, but you know, we're getting on just fine. We are getting on just fine. We're getting on just fine.
I want to ask this: what was Joey Mazzarino like on Big Bag? Because Joey Mazzarino is iconic. What was he like?
I'm sorry, repeat that. I cut out for 1 second.
What was Joey Mazzarino like, who was one of the puppeteers on it?
All of the puppeteers, they were amazing. I mean, Joey especially, like, he would get so into character as Chelly, and sometimes, he would stay in character outside of it and come up to me and still be talking in Chelly's voice, and you would swear, like, you wouldn't even have to have Chelly there to know, you know, it was like, oh, it's Chelly in real life. So, he was really awesome.
You could tell he seems like a good guy, and he's still doing it for puppetry. And
Such
stuff.
a good guy, so dedicated to his art. Yeah, very talented.
I'll tell
you
you,
a lot of people think puppeteering is easy, but like when you see a pro do it, oh my gosh, you realize how much work goes into it.
It is not easy.
I'll bring this up. If we ever contact him or get him on here, it'd be amazing to have you both on to reunite.
Oh, I would love that because we used to. I had a special relationship with him, like when we were on the show. Yeah, he was one of my favorites. He's such a genuine guy, and he really he really made me feel safe on that show, and like I could just go and like, hey Jelly, I need to talk to you. You know what I mean? Like as if it was like a real person. Like it was really cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's incredible that you were able to do all these things in Florida. And actually, I would like to now talk about some of your older stuff, like working for Nickelodeon. Of course, it says that you were on Zoe 101 and you were also
I was
on
going to
Ned.
ask this. Were you?
Oh, yeah. So I did, okay, so I worked on Zoe 101 and I worked on Ned's Declassified at the same time that I was doing Movie Surfers, okay?
Yes.
I actually here's a little fun fact. I was actually offered a recurring role on Zoe 101, but I could not take it because I was under contract with Disney on Movie Surfers at the same time.
Yeah.
So I basically was put in a position where it was like choose one or the other. And for me, the experiences that I was getting that were enriching my life, I couldn't trade those in for anything. I stuck with Disney and went that route. And politely turned Zoe 101 down. But I did do an episode of that show. And then same with Ned's Declassified. I did an episode on there. So, but yeah, I got to work with Jamie, and I mean, it's an interesting cast. I know they did the reboot.
I've seen that. Zoe 102.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I mean, all of them were so young back then. That I don't really talk to too many of them like this day. And then I know it's like some of them have got the industry drama surrounding them. So that cast just a lot of interesting things happened with them. I will say that.
I'll be honest. I think it's kind of good you took the Disney route of things instead of the Nickelodeon route, because
I agree with you. Some weird things happened over there at the Orange Studios, huh?
Yeah, especially what we're hearing now about it is just
documentary that came out. Also, Martin has a question.
Raise your hand, Martin.
So I want to talk about Kids with Character, actually. One of my favorite songs from Kids with Character that you guys did was 6 Simple Words, and then you guys broke out into a rap.
Oh goodness, yep, I remember that. Marcus and I were rapping it up.
I know. Yeah. I mean, those are very important characters. That's very important work.
I mean, that song is still in my head. I know that song still. So, but yeah, it's so funny because the second you said that, I can like immediately picture the video that like comes to mind, and I love how they did like dramatic black and white, like the transitions, and then it's like Marcus and I are like,
I know. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all dramatic.
Yeah. To be honest, by watching the episodes of Animal Jam that have been rediscovered, I could tell that Marcus was one of these people that was really just loved attention. Like he was like, "Yo, I'm the pro here. Yo, man, it's gonna be awesome." Like he's like,
yes. 100%. That's how he was in front of the camera. But you know what? That kid was an incredible dancer too.
Yeah,
especially for his age.
Yeah,
he had some moves.
Yeah, he was. That's why he was on Animal Jam. That's why he was on Animal Jam.
Yeah,
and he got a chance to work with Spencer. I mean, may I also ask how was it like? I may also ask about her. How is she like? How is Spencer Locke like?
Spencer's a sweetheart. Yeah, I've known Spencer since I was we started auditioning together at a pretty young age. So we kind of floated around in the same circle for quite some time. So, but yeah, she's always been a sweetheart. Very, very classy. So yeah, I've had nothing but positive interactions with her.
She definitely is a great actress. Let me tell you, she knows how to act. Have you seen her movies?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen her movies and her other things?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
She kills it every time. Yep.
She's like, man.
Yes.
Yeah, Alex. Is
That would be awesome if we could get Spencer on here. I don't know if you're in contact with her. Are you still if you're still close to her at all at any way? But that's one we like to get. She's actually on my list. Spencer is on the list of people I want to have.
We have a lot of
I could understand why. Yes, she would be an awesome interview.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if you are. I do know you follow her. You follow her though on Instagram. So
I follow her. I haven't talked to her in years. So there's a few people. I mean, I don't know what you guys are going for, but I'll send you when we get done here. I'll send you a list of people, Samuel, that I still am in contact with.
Yeah.
And then let me know if you want me to reach out to any of them.
Please, yeah. Speaking
of people you stay in contact with and follow. You follow Lelaine, who was Miranda on Lizzie McGuire.
Yes.
I just talked to Lelaine. Like we're trying to link up at some point in LA. So I don't think many people know the history with Lelaine and I, but I've actually known Lelaine since I was probably 6 or 7.
Yeah.
We started out like way back in theater together because Lelaine started out in theaters, which I don't think a lot of people know. So she started out doing like very, very dedicated. She's actually a really good singer, so she might kill me for saying that, but she's a very good singer. She's very talented. She started out doing like Les Mis. So yeah, we started out doing theater together a long, long time ago. I love Lelaine. She's a character. There's no one else like her. So she's very.
We would love to talk to her because I grew up with Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah, I've been watching Lizzie McGuire on Disney Plus, and it is hilarious.
Yeah.
Lizzie McGuire.
She had a spin-off.
It's a great show for its time, and the show was genius for its time.
And it also had a spin-off involving her character, which is crazy, but it got canceled or something.
So, I did. I heard about that. Yep. I did hear something about that.
Or something, and Selena Gomez was in it.
Yes. Yeah, and I don't think it made it though, huh?
Yeah, I don't think it made.
Yeah,
I don't think it made.
Alex, do you have a question?
Yeah.
Did
you have a question?
I forgot what one I need to ask.
You can ask anything.
Yeah, you can
ask anything that hasn't been asked.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite episode on Big Bad?
There you go.
Favorite episode on Big Bag. Let me think here.
Now it is.
Oh, that's a tough one, and I'm trying to remember like specific episodes and what we did. My favorite episodes were always the ones where either Colin or Claire were involved. So if it was like if I had a skit with Colin or I had something that I was doing that day with Claire, they were just so fun to work with, and it was always such an entertaining time when I would work with them. I mean, I think all of the most like memorable songs. I mean, probably the episode like the exercise one that I did with Claire was one of my favorites. So I still remember that little like routine that I did with her. So, but yeah, it's funny how certain things just stick in your head.
Of course, man. Of course, it's incredible to see what Big Bag has become. I mean, Big Bag is definitely one of those shows because here's the thing: you definitely do get New York vibes, and plus, I mean, those were like they said, it's Sesame Street, so Sesame Street people, and Mr. of Disney, and maybe people that worked on Warner Brothers were there. You had a big group there, so you got to.
We don't have kid shows like that anymore. Bring Big Bag back. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They brought back Blue's Clues, so let's see what they can do with Big Bag.
I know. It's pretty crazy. The kid shows now, it's like I watch what my niece and nephew, watch growing up, and I'm going, wow, times have changed. Like,
I don't like any of those shows anymore. I do not.
I can't the last good one, which was Blue's Clues. And then you got Don Quixote.
Yeah. The cool thing about shows like Big Bag and A Laker's Window is and shows like what you're talking about, like the last good one, like Blue's Clues, like it still encourages kids to be a kid, to do things that kids are supposed to do. You're not encouraging this fast paced, live fast type of thing. And I just feel like so many of the kids shows that are on TV these days, I'm like, I don't know if I'd want my kid watching this, So they're very, very we're trying to make kids grow up too fast.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
need to
that's
let
what
kids
we're
I
doing.
agree.
So, yeah.
Yeah, why not enjoy life? You know, enjoy life while you can. Enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
This is
It-
life.
Yeah. Life
gotta
is hard
enjoy
enough,
life
and
while you still
adulting is
can.
really hard. So let kids be kids for as long as
Yeah.
they can.
Yeah,
They should
absolutely.
bring it back. They should bring it back and have you back as adults this time. Big Bag as adults have you back or something like that.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome. A little relaunch. That would be
Yeah, a
great.
little
That
reunion.
would be great.
Reunion.
Yeah, that would be
I think
great.
Colin's still acting, so I know he'd be down for it.
Oh,
Well, we'd like to talk to. We'll talk to everybody involved in
yeah,
that show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
We need to
Yeah.
find the episodes and put them out there.
yeah. And also one of my favorites around the show was the Big Bag Beat, and I think that was shot in New York.
Oh yeah.
And Big Bag
Yep,
Beats
the
were
Big
shot
Bag
in New
Beat.
York.
Yes.
I think they were
that's
done
right.
in New York.
Yep.
So yeah, one of my favorites was the very
Totally.
first one where like the kids were doing improv. Have you seen that one? The kids were doing like the
Yeah.
improv.
Yes.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh, that is probably my favorite Big Bags Beat segment is when they did stuff
Some
with when those
talented kids
kids
there. Yeah.
when those kids were beating
Yeah.
on drums and stuff. I'm like, that is incredible. The fact that they got that girl to sing too. Wow.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
I agree.
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm still trying to pull up questions because I know we got fan questions.
Yeah,
and
we
I
got
know,
fan questions. I got questions.
yeah.
questions.
So,
Okay.
So I know that you do have to work, and you know you work on cats and stuff like that. And I
Yep.
promise we're not taking too much of your time. I just want to get as
Oh no, don't worry about it. You're good.
yeah. I really want to try to take my time on these questions because we want to get to everybody.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
Sure.
I know that I want to. So first of all, we actually have somebody else, and I actually interviewed this person before. Ali Jesset, like he's just a YouTuber, and he's one of my friends, and he actually has questions for you. We're gonna start off with him, and
Okay.
his questions. He says questions for Katie because that was your character on Kids for Characters. So I'm like, oh, okay,
How funny.
very funny. I mean, Katie. I mean, those are real life names. So, but he says.
There's been 2 times in my life I played Kate in Annie, and then I was Katie on Kids for Characters. So evidently that's my alias.
He wants to know what was the most amazing experience you've done on set for Kids for Character, and I think you probably have already said that.
I mean the very last scene where they got like everybody together in that massive parade.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't even tell you like what it took to get that one shot. That was probably like the most overall like people involved, like just cinematic experience. You know what I mean? Just all the components coming together. I'm telling you that probably is like the largest shot that I've ever been a part of. And there were so many moving pieces and parts to get that one shot to come together the way it is, especially back in the day when we're talking about it VHS.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can't do the editing like you do these days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was massive. It was a massive production. There were so many cameras. I mean, just megaphones everywhere telling the kids, like, go back to the mark for this stuff, go back to the mark that way. So, and then it was like, we were at the forefront of all of it. So it was like, us 6 kids leading the way for all of these kids. So yeah, it was very cool experience.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That was a neat experience. The fact that it was a crossover. And also his second one was, what's your favorite song from that video? He wants to know that.
I would have to say probably that 6 Simple Words song. That song still lives in my head. Yep. That's a good one. It's a classic.
And then his third question is this: what was it like to be part of the character counts collation? I can't spell that word right. Collation. I can't spell it.
Coloration.
Coalition. I think. Right.
Yes. Coalition. Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, like I said, that was pretty wild because I was unaware that I was going to be used in schools for like years after I filmed it. So, and then, it's like I'm I'm going to school and it's like all the grades that I'm going to, I keep going into new grades and it's like, oh, here's a Kids for Character from you again. And they're all going, hey, isn't that you? And I'm like, yes. Like, so it just kept happening. So, but yeah, it was pretty wild to be a part of something that was being used across school systems like that to teach character building. But I mean, again, I think it's like some people would call that video like cheesy these days, right? But it's like
no, ain't cheesy. Ain't cheesy.
Something right. No, I don't think so either. And it's like videos like that, they don't exist in schools these days, and we're not teaching kids how to build character. And look what's happening.
Yeah, look
so
at this.
It's like, so stuff like that I think is important to teach kids, about respect and trustworthiness and all of that stuff. It's like those are basic fundamentals you need just to be a decent human being. So.
And then he wants to know, what's your favorite show that they put you on the video? What was your favorite show for the Kids for Character? What was your favorite that was on there?
I mean, probably Barney. I grew up watching Barney.
Yeah, a lot of people like Barney.
PJ and Baby Bop. I mean, come on.
That's not surprising. I can understand that.
PJ and Baby Bop would come on, and it was time to dance.
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of decent to Barney though, but I do have respect for it. A lot better than I do the Wiggles. A lot better than I do the Wiggles. I am not a Wiggles fan.
I can respect that.
Neither
I'm not a Wiggles fan either. There's something a little odd about the Wiggles.
Yes.
Rather odd.
I'm not a Wiggles fan.
Yes, when I first saw
I remember the Wiggles came out, and I went, huh. That's interesting.
The Wiggles are rather odd.
Yeah, because I saw the first 2 seasons on Playhouse Disney, and I'm like, what the hell am I watching? Why am I watching a bunch of guys doing this stuff? Like, oh my god, I remember.
That was my thing.
Yeah, like I remember that they would have like a voice thing, like they would have like high voices a lot, and I'm like, this is very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked that a show with that concept got reciprocated so well, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
it's probably maybe because of the music. I'll be honest, I kind of like their music better. Their music was just
some of the songs are totally catchy. I'll agree with that. Dance. Very catchy, and if I hear them in the background and I don't know that it's the Wiggles, it'll get stuck in my head.
Yeah,
I do like the monkey dance.
Yeah.
I like it better when it's instrumentalized. When it's a whole instrumental, I like it. And then
hold on. Heck, you talk about creepy. The puppets from them were creepy. And I know Alex agrees on me. The Wiggles puppets are creepy.
Yeah, and
they were creepy, and
there's one still around.
Yeah, and then also when we get done towards this, Allie wrote something about Kids for Character for you, and so I want to get to all the questions first. And now we're going on Instagram, and actually, I'm going to start with, this is a person by the name of Macias, and he says, I no offense, but I kind of find this question a little odd. He said, how does it feel to be a great actress? I kind of find that a little cheesy.
I mean, I think I would consider myself a great child actress. I haven't dipped into anything else really besides children's television is what we'll say. But thank you. I appreciate that. But, I just working on kid shows is super easy. You never feel like you're acting. It's not really acting. You're just having a good time. And, it's like at the age I was at filming those shows, it was very easy for me to sit there and I was like, okay, cool. I get to hang out with puppets all day. Or, okay, cool. I get to play, imagination games all day. So, it didn't really feel like acting to me. Probably why it came off so natural.
And do you want to know what else? Chris actually had one more question for you, and I find this question a great one. Chris did. She actually DM'd me this question, so this is actually a good question. She asked me, if you starred in a TV show nowadays, what would it be, and who would you play? Who would you want to play?
Oh, okay. So these days, and it'll be in the complete opposite side, but I am a Grey's Anatomy junkie. I am obsessed with that show. The character development on that show, I mean, I've watched it since day one, so I've been blown away by the character development that they do with some of these characters. I mean, I just think the writing is so amazing. So that would be on the drama side. Who would I play? I don't know. I'll pick any role in that show.
Yeah,
I love that show.
Yeah.
So probably I would have done like Sandra Oh's role or something. I loved her role. So, but that would be for the drama side. But comedy, I wish like shows like Superstore existed when I was younger, and I like comedies like that too. So either one of those two shows. But I mean, again, I probably if there was better kid shows on television these days, I might pick a kid shows, but I can't be in something like Paw Patrol. So
I don't think. I mean, have you? I have a question. Have you voiced in anything though? Did you voice in something or no?
No. So I should have. I only did like like singing voiceover. So I did some like soundtrack work on a movie called Trumpet of the Swans that was like by DreamWorks. So I've only did fun fact about me is I'm a singer, so I still sing at like Angel Stadium like 3 to 4 times a season. I'm actually singing there this upcoming Tuesday, so I sing the national anthem there still.
Wow, that's awesome.
So yeah, so I did some singing soundtrack work on some of these movies, but no, I never really got into voiceover other than the voiceovers that I had to do for surfers. So I stayed very busy with movie surfers for 10 years, so I didn't really have much time to do anything else.
Cool. Very cool. And then I think we got 3 more from Tori here, and it's probably some stuff that we probably have already know. And so Tori says this. She wants to know, what do you like best about being an actress?
The fact that you're able to quote unquote like experience what it would be like, or pretend like you get to be this person for a day or this character for a day. You know, the fact that you get to live out so many different type of roles or be in different, you know, like times, like stuff like that, I think is really cool. Just the fact that you can remove yourself from your everyday life and pretend to be someone else for a second, but you know, then you go back to the rest of it at the end of the day. I think that's the coolest part.
Yeah, and then her second was like, what's your favorite A Language Window episode you appeared in?
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh. The one that had do you guys remember the Riff Raff, the cat?
Yes.
Martin P. Robinson.
Yeah.
Marty P. Robinson.
So there was an episode. Yep, there's an episode with his little song that he does, and he's all dancing on the tabletops and talking about that he's like a cool cat, and that's probably my favorite episode of A Language Window.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
I'll tell you this. I thought he was going to say we're going to have to get Martin P. Robinson because we're trying to. If we do, we'll bring you back. There you go.
We'll bring
you back at some.
Yeah, look at that episode. It won't let you down. The puppeteering is awesome. They got him up on the countertops, and he's doing full dancing and everything. It's really cool.
I gotta see that episode. I know I have one of the VHSs up there.
That's not the episode where Riff went to TQ and he said, "Just call me Mr. Rip." Hey, y'all.
That's right. Yep, that's right. That's one of my favorites. Totally. Yeah.
It's not on streaming though. You have to buy it.
It's on archive now. It's on archive. The show's on archive.
I didn't know that.
So
I didn't watch
that's
it.
so funny.
Yeah, and then her third question is like, what inspired you to perform? She wants to know that.
Just in general?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, if we're talking about like live performing, I love live performing. I think for anybody who does acting, theater, or anything, you know, there's always a rush when you can get up in front of a crowd of people and perform something live. Definitely a different type of rush than you get from anything else.
Of course.
I mean, if we're talking about like what inspired me to perform, as far as like acting and in television shows, I mean, I think it's appealing to every kid when you're younger. You know, you look at things that are on the TV and you go, I want to do that, you know? So it's like, oh, I want to be that character or whatnot. So,
yeah, of course.
I think there's normal curiosities as a kid. I don't even think anything inspired me. It was just like, I just want to do that. So,
yeah. Oh yeah. Did you have a few questions from?
They already
somebody?
been answered.
Oh, they've been answered. They've already been answered. Well, I got maybe one. I'm like, so how was Gilmore Girls like? Because I saw one clip of Gilmore Girls. I saw one clip of Gilmore Girls, and you were talking and like this nerd. So
my mom loved that show.
So I'll tell you my audition for Gilmore Girls. So I was working for Disney at the time, but I got Gilmore Girls, and I was on set filming something for Movie Surfers, and my agent called me and said, "There's a guest spot for Gilmore Girls. It's to play Lane's cousin." And I said, "Oh yeah, Kiko." I said, I said, "We look pretty similar." I said, "That could work out." And they said, "You need to talk very, very fast." And I said, "Okay, how fast are we talking?" So they explained to me, and they sent me the script and said, "You basically have to fit all of this dialogue in, like, it was like 30-something seconds, right?" And I'm going, my God. And I mean, if you saw Gilmore Girls, you can hear my little spiel and how much dialogue it was.
And also, you mentioned Teletubbies. You mentioned Teletubbies in that line. I love Teletubbies too, so.
Yep.
Teletubbies.
So,
yes,
but yeah, so I got this script. I memorized the script. I think it was within like 4 hours from script to studio. I was there auditioning, and they literally booked me that day. I was in wardrobe. I was on set the very next day. I was already friends with one of the casting directors who cast for it, but she's like, we knew to call you. We knew you were the only person who could speak this fast.
Wow.
So
wow. From
I had good practice at it by that point. So exactly, that's what I was gonna say. I had good practice at it by that point because I mean, if you watch Surfers, some of the amount of dialogue that they'd make me fit in, and they'd say, "Okay, Tessa, you have 17 seconds," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. I also remember during that. I think during some of the interviews that you did for Home on the Range, I remember.
Yeah.
See, I remember. I think I remember when you were like you and this other boy. I forgot what his name was. This other boy, like you guys were
Who was
out.
I with? Josh. I think I was with Josh on Home on the Range.
Okay, yeah, Josh. Yeah, you guys were. Yeah, you guys. I think some of you guys were referencing the Yodel song, and I actually really love that song.
Oh gosh, they maybe yodel on camera. That's right.
Yeah. I do know somebody that actually had made an instrumental to that. Like they had the DVD and they like made an instrumental to that, and it's actually on private.
It.
Yeah. Somebody literally like ripped their DVD that they had and they made an instrumental. Like they synced a bunch of dubs.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like they sunk a bunch of dubs to it, and I'm like, this was years ago. They sunk dubs to this.
Oh, that's too funny.
And then they sunk dubs.
I would die to hear that. That is too funny.
And you want to know something? It was actually a Thomas fan who was massively into instrumentals from certain shows. It was a Thomas fan who did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
That's so cool.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to
Gilmore Girls was a really, it was really cool to film Gilmore Girls though, because I mean, the second you step on that set, it's such an iconic set, and you're immediately transformed into that town. So it's very cool for that. I will say this: Alexis Bledel is, everybody told me like she's very quiet, like she doesn't talk a lot, and they weren't lying. Like that girl. That is 100% pure acting on camera for her. She is a great actress because outside of that, she is so quiet and reserved. Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, wow, so totally different person.
I bet. Awesome. I bet that's something, and that's incredible. And also, I know that even though not a lot of Big Bag is out there, I think I saw one episode of Big Bag. It was in the promo where like you guys were dressed up as like scouts and tomatoes or something. I forgot.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm dying to see that episode now because that's hilarious. I'm like, oh boy. I mean, how is it like to work with the lady that did Big Bag? How was it like to work with the lady that ran the shop? The girl that did Molly, Celine. How was it like to work with her?
Celine, that's right. Okay, so Celine and I stayed in contact for a while too. Yeah. She was the sweetest. Very she was awesome. My mom would take off a lot on set because I'd be there for like long hours, and Celine basically like stepped in, was like a second mom for me. So she was really cool. Just very, very, very cool to work with. So that's what I love about that cast is they all very much so took care of the kids like they were their own. So
that's incredible that you were able to do that. Yeah. And also, I just got a little bit of a question. Did you ever get while you were on the shows and doing shows in Florida? Did you ever get a chance to sneak out and go to some of the rides? Like, did you?
Okay, so fun fact. That's funny that you asked that. So when I filmed in Orlando. And this is not a lie. The original Tower of Terror there, I've probably been on that ride I must have hit somewhere between 80 and 100 times. I used to literally, every day that I would film, that was my routine, is on my lunch break, we filmed right next door to the Tower of Terror. So they would let me come out. They would sneak me in through the back entrance of Tower of Terror and then put me right up to the front of the line. And I'd go on Tower of Terror like 2 or 3 times during my lunch break. So
oh my god!
That was how I spent my lunch break.
Everybody would be like, "Why is this kid going? Why is this kid going and we're not?"
Right? So there's little like 7-year-old, and I'm like, "Excuse me," like on the Tower of Terror by myself, and I'm like,
"Why is that kid getting in line?" I'm like, well, actually, a lot of people didn't know she was an actress, and so I bet how many do you want to bet if they saw you on TV, they were like, "Hey, that's the girl that cut in front of me."
Yeah, probably. Yep.
Because I know they did that.
But yeah, I love that ride. Oh yeah, I love that ride though.
Which did you like better, Universal or Disney? I gotta ask, which one did you like?
the Tower of Terror ride, or just in general?
Just in, like, which one did you like? But like, which one did you like filming at better, Universal or Disney? Because usually Universal had a lot of big stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, I will say there was more for me to do at Universal because you're in the middle of like, it's all the action, you know what I mean? Disney, I mean, it's really just all studios. So there's not, it's like Universal was more fun because when I got off of work, I could go right into the park, you know, on my lunch break, I could go right into the park. So I was surrounded by a lot of things to do. It wasn't really like that at Disney because it was all studios. And I mean, Disney was cool because I got to go inside of like, you know, the Imagineering building, and you can see like all the animation, and I've gotten tours of parts of the buildings that people have never been in. So that part was cool. But as far as like a kid filming and where it was more kid friendly, Universal for sure.
Yeah, Universal. Yeah. Oh yeah. I got a question. Did you ever get a chance to meet Michelle Trachtenberg around that time too? Trachtenberg. I'm sorry. Yeah. Did you ever get a chance to meet her?
Trachtenberg
Around that
she was
time.
I don't, you know, I think we might have floated around in the same circles, and I want to say that I was at like a charity event with her, but I don't think we ever actually like talked face to face. But I used to work in a charity that I would see a lot of the kids that you guys grew up with, and like I grew up with. We did a lot of the same charity events.
Yeah, I bet that's incredible. Especially, did you guys have to promote like Kids per Character there too during the charities?
Yeah, sometimes. So I worked with this charity called Kids with a Cause. And actually Hillary Duff was on the board for it for a while. So Hillary and I grew up with Hillary. So we'd known each other for a long time. So Hillary, Lelaine, and I used to hang out like all the time. Actually, I have pictures with them in my backyard playing on like our playground
Hillary
stuff.
Duff.
So,
oh my gosh, dude, that would be one I would love to have. But I don't know. She's famous. I don't know if she would even get back to you.
If she wasn't famous, I loved her in the movies.
She's really cool. She's very, very, very cool chick. So
let's find her and talk to her, please.
But yeah, so I grew up doing that charity work with her. So we all used to kind of show up at events like together. Sometimes we would promote the things that we were doing, but it was more so like I traveled to with Hillary. Like Hillary and I went to India together, and she went out there and did some like charity work. Wow. So like little things like that. So yeah, we got to do cool things like that in the charity.
That's pretty cool. You know, knowing about all the behind the scenes to all these things. So like it's pretty incredible. It's incredible to see what all you've done over the years, and just I truly appreciate. I will be honest, I kind of remembered you more from Movie Surfers, because probably around everything else from like the 1990s were pretty much obscure till now. So
totally, yeah.
But I like the Florida
in Movie
stuff.
Surfers, I mean, I feel like that's the bulk of my career, and I did that for 10 years. So
you traveled. You got to travel. You traveled to probably everywhere around the world. And did you go to the UK
I visited
well?
so many places.
Did you go to the UK as well?
Oh yeah, I got to. Yep.
Oh my
so I was in London. We were out in London. I mean, let's see. Some of the places I went to there is like I went to the Dominican Republic. I was on top of that little glacier in Smithers. I went to London. I spent time out in Gibraltar, just outside of Spain, New Zealand. All over the United States. I mean, just so many different cool places.
I got another question.
Okay.
How was it like? Did you ever get a chance to go to Shepperton? Because that's where Thomas was actually filmed around that time. So
I didn't.
Oh my God!
No.
You want to know something? I do. I found out something. So I found another YouTuber that I watch called Unlucky Tug. He's a Thomas YouTube user, and I just found out something. Tom Hanks, around the time they were doing, we call it the late model / hit era of the show, he got to see some of the production of the show while they were doing a movie there. I forgot what it's called.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I found that out. I found out.
Wow.
So I was kind of curious. I was kind of curious if you went to London and if you got to see, maybe go see some of your favorite shows or like that being filmed. That's just an obscure question.
No, so we didn't. I didn't have like. I think I got a couple of days to explore out in London, and we did all of like the touristy stuff, you know.
Oh,
so
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Man, I see. I mean, I am very proud of your career, Tessa. Let me tell you, your career is
Oh,
pretty
thank you
impressive.
so much.
Let me just, dude.
I
Let me tell you.
appreciate it.
Let me tell you, you're actually up there with probably one of the ones that are well known for fans, probably. Because we don't, I mean, I have gotten a lot of well-known fans, but this is probably maybe a big one. Maybe you're probably bigger than probably the biggest female actress we've had on here so far.
You're the biggest.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
you're
it.
the biggest well-known one because we've interviewed we don't have a lot of females that join this podcast. We have a lot of males.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
Okay.
what makes me a little bit. Come on, we want some females. Come on, we're trying to get some females in this podcast.
I'll try to help you out. I'll try to help you out.
Well, thank you, man. I mean, I have you on DM on Instagram, so.
Yes, yeah.
Well,
DM me, and like I said, I'll try to get you some more people to get you, help you guys and get some guests on here for you.
Absolutely, I love that. I mean, does anybody have any more questions for Tessa before? Because I know that she has to work.
What was Miss Melody like on Allegra's Window?
I'm good.
Whatever her name is, Fiercely.
Miss Melody. Oh wow, yeah, that brings back some memories. She was so sweet. She was so good with all of us and the kids, and it's so funny because I used to say like, oh, I wish this could be my teacher in real life. Like she was just so sweet. I think all of the adults that I worked with, I was so blessed that they were so nice to kids, because you hear some of the stories of kids on set, and I don't know, just with the adults and stuff. I never had any of those experiences, and everybody was just always so nice to me. But yeah, Miss Melody in particular, I can remember just very, very nurturing energy. And yeah, I used to tell her all the time, like, I wish she could be my teacher in real life.
He's awesome. She's still going out there. She's done interviews. We might try to talk to her in the future.
Yeah. I was gonna say she's still doing stuff. Yep.
She was in it. She was actually in an interview. Oh, that was a loud car. Sorry about that. But she was in an interview with another guy called Jason Pleasant. Have you heard of him? Jason Pleasant. He is talented. He is a
Jason Pleasant.
No. Yeah.
You should go.
What's he in?
He has a Nickelodeon kind of podcast where he interviews people. Hopefully, we see you on in the future on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And he does cool dances and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
He's had Shayna. He has.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's
so many people.
Quite a bit of people from Nickelodeon. He's a massive Nickelodeon fan. I mean, I'm not into the Discovery stuff and PBS stuff, but
He's awesome. He goes by Jazzy Mac.
Oh yeah.
Oh, very cool.
I do. Oh yeah. You went to a couple of premieres as well. How were the premieres for Movie Surfers like when you went? Because you got to go to.
Those were so spoiled when we went to those. They were. I mean, Disney premieres. They go all out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like you see the biggest icons there. I swear, it's like everybody wants to bring their daughter to a Disney premiere, so it's like it's the hottest ticket to get. They were always so nice. I mean, my favorite part was always the gift bags at the end. So
Did you get a bunch of money in them, or did you get a bunch of money? Did you get just CDs?
I mean, my God, it was always the hottest, latest products that you couldn't get your hands on, and it was just in a gift bag for you waiting at the end, and you're like, yes. I remember for the Ice Princess premiere, and I mean, you guys are guys, so you won't appreciate it, but I love Vera Wang, and the gift bags at the end, it was a full Vera Wang gift bag, and I mean, my God, it must have been over $1,000 worth of stuff, and it was like, oh my God, I can't afford this.
And I also like your look. I like your look in Movie Service. You had the red hair there. Oh my God.
Oh. Okay, so here's a funny story about that. So the red hair, the tips, they ended up sticking with me, but I originally dyed my hair. So I went to Korea when I was 13 to teach English, and we talked about how I'm adopted. So my mom was worried that she would lose me in Korea. So we decided to dye the ends of my hair a different color. So that's how she goes, let's just dye the ends of your hair so I can distinguish you out of a crowd very easily. And I'm like, Mom, I'm not going to look like everybody else there, but mothers and how they are.
Yeah.
So we dyed the ends of my hair pink, and then I came back and I started working for Disney, and they ended up liking it. So they told me okay, don't get rid of that. They're like, just keep it and then change it to red. So it became my trademark for Disney.
Okay. Hey, that's great. I mean, hey, that's really awesome. I do remember one. I recently saw this. You actually promoted Ratatouille too. It was a Pixar movie, and you promoted Ratatouille.
Yep. Yep. That was Ratatouille to this day is like one of my favorite Pixar Disney films, and that was so cool to film. This is another fun fact about me. So I'm now I do private chefing. Yes. So I have a private chefing and catering service. Yes. So that was Ratatouille was like one of the coolest things for me to film because I got to work with like one of the top chefs from France. So it was so cool.
Wow, that's cool. Oh, wow. That is cool. Yeah, you talked about cat rescue to me. How was it like being a sub veterinarian?
Yeah, so I mean, you know, the kitties need saving. I've always had a huge heart for animals, and when I left the industry, I wanted to do something where I could still make an impact on the world. So this is kind of what I ventured into. So and eventually, I'm actually like you guys. I'm getting ready to start a YouTube channel, but it'll be for on a kitty disease called FIP. So I might be picking your brain soon, Samuel, and asking you what it takes to get a YouTube channel going because I don't know anything about it. So.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh my God, yes, please do.
Yeah,
please do. We would be a step.
I'm 35. I've never really dove into this side of media, so I'm like, I need some help.
dude, oh my gosh, dude. That you don't want to know something? We'd be a step if she asked me to come on, we'd be a step ahead from the other podcast, and we'll say it once we stop. We'll tell you it once we stop recording. We'll tell you it. But you know,
would you? I was going to say we're back, but we're doing the movie service reunion. That's confirmed. We need to.
Yes, I'm down. I'll reach out to everybody.
Movie service reunion, and plus, I mean, it's been 20 years, so 20 years. I think you started in 2004, didn't you? Did you start in 2004 or 2003?
2000. Oh my gosh. It would have been like 2003, I think. Yep.
We do our research.
Yeah.
Maybe even 2002. I got to go back and look. It might have been 2002, to be honest.
Yeah, because I tried looking at interviews from 2002, and I don't think I've seen you there.
Yeah, I think 2002 is when I got hired, and then I think I started filming in 2003.
So 2003, maybe late 2003 with Brother. Like I tried looking at the Brother Bear interviews, and I didn't see you there.
I have that DVD.
I had
Brother Bear was the first movie that I worked on. So Brother Bear would have been the very first movie that I worked on because that's what I interviewed.
Same.
I interviewed Phil Collins for that. That's what I interviewed him for because he did the music for it.
I have Brother Bear.
Yeah, he did. I love music in that movie.
I have Brother Bear, and also I used to have Home on the Range as well. But I don't know what happened to that movie. Yeah, but I do have to say the reason I do have to say, do you remember the logo that played on DVDs? Like once you hit play, do you remember that little THX logo there?
Yes.
That used to scare the devil out of me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, especially if you're in another room and then you just hear boo.
Like God, you just referenced it. Good job.
Yeah.
You just referenced that. Good job. Tessa, you referenced that. You nailed that reference.
Some sort of creepy sound just coming through your TV, and you're like, "What is that?" Like, I totally get it.
I got a question. Did they ever do that at the?
Oh wow.
Yeah. Did they ever do that at the premieres too? Did the logo play at the premieres too?
Oh. Sometimes.
Like for the Home
even
on
at
the
the El
Range
Capitan, they still did that.
Like for the Home on the Range premiere, did they do that at the Home on the Range? Because I know Home on the Range had that.
No, I don't. I don't think they did it at the Home of the Range one. No, I don't think so.
Because I know the DVD has it once you click play.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna get if I do own a copy of Home on the Range, I'm probably gonna get the VHS. So
I've seen it.
There you go. The classic version.
I've seen it, but I'm not a huge fan of the movie. It's okay to me. Anyway.
Yeah, a lot of Disney movies. Yeah, a lot of Disney movies around that time flopped. So like some of them were hit or miss. Like the Shaggy Dog is one I didn't really. The one with Tim Allen, I was like, eh.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, like
I agree with you on that one.
Tim Allen being a dog.
You gotta think it was a remake. It's been remade twice.
Yeah. Tim Allen I'll be honest. Tim Allen as a dog doesn't really suit his character. I'm sorry. No. No, Tim Allen. But I do remember you also reviewed The Wild as well. I need to see that. I love The Wild.
Yeah, that was. Oh man. That movie was really cool. You know, one of my favorites that I actually did was I interviewed for was Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh my God! Yes.
I got to go to New Zealand for that one.
Yes,
that was a really cool one.
Yes, yeah, that's a sad movie. That's also a sad movie because
it is.
If I'm sure a lot of people have seen this anyway, but I'm gonna go on and say it because Anna Sophia Robb's character passes away, and oh my God, oh my gosh.
It's a pretty heavy movie for a kid. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, how was it like to meet them, Anna Sophia Robb and Josh Hutcherson?
Good. I interviewed them both at the same time, and that was like literally right before Josh Hutcherson's career just like blew up. So I think that was the first thing that he really did, and it's so funny because I even told the producers interviewing him back then, I said, man, this kid is so smart. He interviewed you can just tell he was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
So and I remember telling my producers like, this kid's gonna go somewhere, and sure enough, it was like the next year. I just watched him blow up.
Yeah.
So you can tell. You can always tell the ones that are just gonna explode. So
they're good they're great at acting too. I know that I've seen some of their movies as well. Well, I remember Josh Hutcherson was actually on another movie probably before he interviewed you called or you interviewed him called Little Manhattan, and I loved that movie.
Yes, I think that was his very, very first thing that he did. Yeah.
With Charlie Ray. That was a pretty good one. And I know Anna Sophia Robb from the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie.
Yes.
I know her for that. She played Violet Beauregard that year. That was a big year for her. 2005 was a big year for her.
Yeah, it was.
So let me tell you, and they're both good at martial arts too. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie, because she had a scene in there where she had to do martial arts. And then Josh was a movie did that movie with Little Manhattan was a martial art movie, and then he wanted.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I think his character wanted to do it because he liked Rosemary. So
okay.
Yeah, but I haven't dated anybody in like maybe 8 years now, so I'm single. So guys, just so you know, I'm single, and my dad. Well, I'll be quite honest. I actually did lose my mother about in 2018, so that's probably one of the reasons why pop culture is big on me. Is because like video games, TV shows, and all that. So much they're just so big on me now because watching them when I was little. And just how much how much pop culture has just done so much for us people on the autism spectrum, and just people who have been grieving and dealing with depression. That's why I'm doing this podcast, because I kind of like to compare people with other shows that I like. So hopefully this is off topic. So
yeah.
Alex is
no.
Yeah, let me tell you, that was awesome. This has been a fun interview, man. That was fun.
I know we gotta wrap up.
Amazing.
Yeah, what's that, Wyatt?
We gotta wrap up soon. Me and Alex have something to do.
Okay, yeah. Well, Well, I'm gonna ask 2 more questions for her, and so if anybody wants to get into acting, what would you recommend, Tessa, that they do?
What's your advice?
These days, my best advice would be you gotta be yourself. There's a lot of I think there's a lot of standards in the industry. I mean, thankfully, it's changed so much since I grew up into it, and it's much easier for people to actually be themselves and in that industry, and they're not having to fit into these molds. But that is my number one thing that I tell everybody is just always be yourself. Don't mold yourself into what they want you to be. You gotta be genuine all the way through.
Absolutely. You put off a good point there. You put off a great point, I should say. You put off a really good point here. And people, starting off as a kid, it's all the way up, and then sometimes the hit or miss from it. And and especially, we were talking about how Nick went on the people from Zoe went on especially Alexa Nicholas, and I feel bad for her about that. And so,
I do have a question. Would you like to say anything to your fans?
Yeah, say something to your fans.
Yeah.
I appreciate all of you. Thank you for tuning into this. It's really cool to be able to share these experiences that I had in the past and share them with you guys and what they were like. And it's very cool that all of you are so interested in it that you want to know what I'm up to now too. So it's very humbling. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Samuel has the last question.
And then the last question, and this is
Sure.
a good one. So as you know, this is Entertainment Treasure Talk with Samuel Warwick, which is me, of course. And I like to ask all my guests this. I've been asking this probably for about maybe since episode 11 when I had somebody on.
Okay.
So the question is this. What is something that is entertainment treasure to you? Like when you look at something like music or TV or video games or maybe just
even something you worked on.
Yeah, something that you worked on or somebody else worked on. Like what is something what's your favorite pop culture thing of all time? Like one particular pop culture thing of all time. Like it can be in whatever category.
One particular pop culture thing of all time.
That's the thing. That's technically what the question is.
Yeah, well, that's a good question.
You could have multiple if you want. I don't care.
I mean, I think for me, and honestly, like what impacted my childhood most, and what I grew up with is like one of them was like Eureka's Castle. I mean, I think that was huge.
Yeah,
so that's a huge show that influenced. So I mean, I would probably say that television show. I mean, still, I can remember scenes of it in my head, and I think for the time that it came out and the age that I was at, just really impacted my life and so many other kids' lives. And like I said, I wish there was television like that these days, still on. So that show particularly really taught me how to use like my imagination. And I can remember after watching that show, like I started to go upstairs and make my own little puppeteering things and like building things, and it was like it really like brought out the kid in me. So yeah, I would say that show in particular definitely impacted me.
That is a great question. That is an awesome question. And that was a very awesome answer as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but hey, that was an awesome question I asked too, because wow.
It's something nobody asked.
Yeah, because yeah. But man, that was fun. But this was a fun interview. Thank you for taking this interview. I know we were a little late on the spot, but that's okay.
Hey, that's okay. Don't worry about it. No. I apologize, and thanks for being on chat with me still.
That's fine. I wasn't mad. Just as long as we got this done, because we've had guests in the past that
We'll talk to you off camera, because
we'll talk. Yeah, we'll just talk. Yeah, we'll just probably after this. But but dang, I went for almost over an hour 25 here. Jeez, man, this probably has been the longest one in a long time. But hey, it's great. We got some information out there. We got some information.
Lots of info, exactly.
So hey, but yeah. Anyway, Tessa, thank you for taking this interview, everybody. Tessa, and thank you guys, of course, everybody for tuning in and watching this, and thank you guys for being the co-host. And thank you guys are. And hey, 25 episodes.
We have the podcast without us.
Yeah. 25 episodes. Let's see how this goes. 25 episodes, and hopefully we'll be able to make it more. And now since we've been talking about having you back in the future, Tessa, I would definitely do that. We can do Movie Surfers, and we'll probably have a big chat.
Let's do it. Movie Surfer reunion.
Sure.
Movie Surfers.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You can talk about your favorite time or whatever. Oh my God,
definitely.
We'll get Miss Melody on as well. We'll have you both on.
That would be nice.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a live stream maybe at one point, and then everybody can come back, and then we can do something.
There you go.
When we get Joey Mazzarino, which we're going to, Samuel will message you, and you can join in on
there
that.
You go. Around that time.
You can halfway through the interview and surprise him.
Yeah, you can surprise. Yeah, we can surprise you. Just
imagine he does the voice in that. And fun fact, he's used that same voice for all his other characters.
Yeah, he has.
No, wow.
That is that's incredible. Yeah, that's incredible. He has, but.
So he's still able to do it, which is amazing. Like he used it on Boys Room and other stuff.
Yeah, but okay, everyone. Well, we're gonna go on ahead and sign off here, everybody. Thank you guys for watching this episode. Thank you guys for 25 episodes so far.
25. Let's get more. Come on.
A lot of you guys have meant the world to me, guys, and yeah, it's just so awesome that we're able to do this. Maybe who knows?
Yep.
Maybe the more we get, the more better we'll get. Maybe the more people we get, the more better we'll get. And just it's such a blessing to have a lot of fans. I may not have a lot of comments now, but a lot of fans out there. We're gonna have a lot of fans out there that truly need it. So yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna go on ahead and that's a goodbye from us as well. So thank you guys for watching the episode, and we will see you guys on the next episode of the podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Entertainment Treasure Talk. We hope that you had fun and that you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, maybe you'd like to watch or hear more episodes of the show. The link to the playlist is in the description. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more upcoming episodes. And don't forget that you're awesome and that you too are filled with entertainment treasure. See you next time for another great episode of the podcast. Peace out.